The Judge, logline, a ruin to redemption, true story about a man who raised himself from an Alabama coal miner's son to the seat of an American judge, only to find himself behind bars with the very men he had sentenced. But then the truth set him free. Synopsis. Based on the true life story of Dr. Fred Mosley, an African American man who raised himself up from an Alabama coal miner's son to the halls of justice, only to fall into temptation and then find himself incarcerated with the very men who had stood before his bench. The story opens as Judge Mosley is being led by a guard through the prison halls and brought in front of a cell occupied with a slim African American man. As the guard sarcastically invites him into his new accommodations, he emphasizes his name, Judge Mosley. The cellmate looks up. The cellmate was one of the men who Judge Mosley sentenced. Flashback to the scene where Judge Mosley, in his mid-30s, imperiously sentences this man and moralizes to him. The man is tough and talks back to the judge, proclaiming his innocence. He says the judge has sentenced him unfairly, saying he sold out to the big white establishment against him. The man says, "You should know better." Judge Mosley holds him in contempt of court and sentences him. The gavel slams. Then we are back in the cell, and the man is actually quite mellow towards Judge Mosley and asks him how did he end up there. Judge Mosley starts to narrate his story. We go back to Alabama, early 1950s, and we see Judge Mosley as a 6-year-old boy heading to his first day of school. We see him in a segregated Alabama school and watch as his understanding over the next few years grows, that those who do well are rewarded, and we see this becoming a motivation of his life. This is reinforced by his parents. The scene changes to the 1960s. We watch as he graduates high school and goes to a segregated college. We see him meet his future wife in a college bookshop meet cute. Then we have some romantic and slightly humorous scenes as he tries to win her heart. She remains his sweetheart throughout his college years. Then he enters law school in Ohio, the first integrated experience of his life. We see Judge Mosley experiencing intimidation as an inward motivation, though it is not apparent to others. There can be a scene foreshadowing his eventual giving in or compromising to others' agendas in order to obtain respect, such as being willing to go to drinking parties with mostly white law students. He has a best friend, also an African American law student, and together they walk through this minefield of early integration. We cut to scenes of the white students being duplicitous towards him, one way to his face, but then we see how they are behind his back. There is a short collage of Judge Mosley graduating and then getting married and finally being sworn in as a judge in the United States court system. We will have several more scenes following his career and watching how he responds as he grows in stature. His wife tries to remind him to be humble, but he explains to her that won't impress anybody. Segue to the 1980s. Some bigwig manufacturers start to invite him to be a part of their circle. And even though his wife is uncomfortable with this, Judge Mosley is flattered by their attentions. There can be social scenes showing Judge Mosley and his wife trying to fit in. He does not realize that this is a setup to create obligation towards them through their perks and flattery. He falls for their schemes, even though he has no one to blame but himself. This is the setup for indictment. Cut to the courtroom scene where he is judged. The gavel slams. We then cut to the cell again, and the two men find a place of peace. We follow Judge Mosley as he navigates the prison world. His wife visits him and brings him encouragement and wisdom and a Bible. We then see the revelation about the laws of life as he shares his understanding with his friend, the cellmate. There are scenes of escalating tensions in the prison, interpersonal conflicts, and in response, Judge Mosley sharing the laws of life revelations with other inmates. The warden sees the fruit of this and offers hope for a shortened term. He is released in the 7th year. This is his jubilee. We end this movie with seeing Judge Mosley going back to the prison, but this time he's a visiting minister, sharing the laws of life to bring transformation to the lives of the prisoners. In the epilogue, the movie finishes with the ending credits documenting in word and actual photos what the real-life Judge Mosley went on to do with the Laws of Life publishing and TV. You are invited to be a part of this inspiring and relevant production. This riveting true story offers biblical solutions to critical issues of today. Imagine the power of this narrative impacting the lives of young people searching for integrity and ultimately the kingdom of God. To get involved, contact the writer Zipporah Moon.